rounds of 40. 200 million rounds of 223, some of them hollow points. You think they're going to use that to secure the border?
No.
Fast and Furious, maybe? They're going to do an ammunition version of that? I'm a little concerned that we may need some of that ammunition to protect ourselves from some of those people. Now, one thing the government's not going to do today is get their hands on this ammunition. Somebody is, and I'll make it as quick as I possibly can, but I want to talk about some things besides gun rights. First and foremost, what's going on right now is there are some gun manufacturers that are refusing to sell guns to states that pass unconstitutional laws. Look them up online, give them a call. If it's not good for the public, it's not good for any government agency. So Barrett is one of them, Lithic Arms is one as well. Ammunition manufacturers, maybe we could give them a call and say, if you're selling all your product to the government, we'll take our business elsewhere eventually.
That's right.
But be sure and thank the ones that are treating you just like they're treating the federal government. Now, if you're concerned with the way this country's going, I want to point out a couple of things I don't like. And there's something in the founding documents. You'll see the phrase throughout just about everything that was being passed around over 200 years ago, and it's called, the government must operate only under the consent of the people.
Yay.
So the IRS can seize your bank account without a warrant, without a judge's levying any charges against you. Take every penny that you have, if you have any, without a judge. Do you consent?
No.
All right, and supposedly to keep us safe, the TSA can rifle through your luggage, can cut the locks off, and if they don't find what they think they're looking for, they'll just leave you a nice little postcard without replacing the locks. That luggage is yours, the lock is yours, no compensation for loss. Do you consent to that?
No.
All right, also in the name of security, TSA agents recently put their hands down a 3-year-old girl's pants and a 6-year-old girl's pants. They made a 85-year-old woman who uses a walker 4 feet 11 inches high do a strip search. Do you consent?
No.
Could you use 1,000 rounds of ammo?
Yes.
Let me make a disclaimer. I'm not advocating violence in any way, shape, or form. Unless you need to use violence to protect you or your family. If you're riding in a plane and 4 Arabs get on with box cutters, you're going to let them take the plane down? That's when you use violence. A veteran, Brandon Robb, forcibly removed from his home, arrested, held in a mental institution without the filing of charges or an arrest warrant by a judge. You know what he did? He posted negative comments about the White House. Do you consent to that? What have we been doing? Okay, and the guy that apparently made a film that caused an attack in Benghazi is still in jail. Not one State Department official has lost their job over that. Not one Republican could ask, who said no? When this soldier was up, this Navy SEAL was on a rooftop for 7 hours, tagging him with lasers, waiting for some air support, who said no? You think that anyone could ask that question? No one did. Do you consent?
No.
Supreme Court, we now have Obamacare. Thank you, John Roberts. A Bush appointment. Can you guys just kind of give me a guarantee that we'll never see another Bush or another Clinton in the White House?
Yes.
So you get a fine or a penalty if you don't buy insurance that the government deems that you have to buy. Or you pay a $3,000 fine or something like that. Do you think the 47 million people on food stamps that are walking around on their Obama phones are going to buy insurance that costs about $7,000 or $8,000 a year or pay a fine? Guess who's paying the fine? Guess who exempted themselves from Obamacare? the people that passed it. You consent to that? Okay, the governor of New York just recently signed a bill, and here they go co-opting the message or the language. It's called the SAFE Act, taking away guns from people. The bill's passage creates an ex post facto. What that is they passed the bill that basically what was legal is now no longer legal. Article 9, Clause 3 of the Constitution states, "No bill of attainder or ex post facto law shall be passed." It's in the Bill of Rights. The Second Amendment Foundation and 20 states are fighting this. Is Nevada? No. Why is Nevada not fighting this? Why is Nevada not joining with 20 other states? Because we have
Harry
an Attorney
Reid!
General who is a puppet of Harry Reid and the Democrat Party named Catherine Cortez Masto.
Throw him
Contest for
out!
re-election again. I think the governor and the folks down in Carson City need to hear from you in the next week. If you can just take 10 minutes out of your day and start making some phone calls. How about the sheriffs? Do you know if Mike Haley is going to arrest you if they pass an
Hey,
unconstitutional
I'm down at the,
anti-gun?
gun thing.
I can tell you there are hundreds of sheriffs across the
I'll call
country
you when
that
I'm
have said
done
they
here.
will not enforce any unconstitutional laws and they will arrest federal agents if they try to do so.
Sure.
Anybody called Kenny Furlong in Carson City? Anybody
should
called
be.
Ron Perini down in
If
Douglas
he's
County?
not there, just put it in the
If you
backyard.
haven't, will you?
Yeah.
Let me know what they say. It's Jerry at 991fmtalk.com. Remember the last session in Carson City? Well, first of all, look what they did this past Thursday. They passed a bill through committees, through both houses, and the governor signed it in 4 hours. A bill to allow online gambling so that they could generate more tax revenue. Remember last session? They wanted to pass a bill that would require your auto mechanic to make sure that your tires were properly inflated.
What?
What are they drinking in Carson City? Could you make contact with them and make sure that they pass some of Jim Settlemeyer's bills and get things done the way they should? Now recently our vice president had some great advice. If someone breaks into your house, grab a double-barrel shotgun and 2 shells, go outside and shoot them in the air.
What an idiot.
I hope he follows his advice if something like that happens. All right, and stop letting this media and all these Congress people co-opt the language. It's not gun control, it's people control.
That's right.
It's not an assault rifle, it's a modern sporting rifle or a semi-auto. And by the way, I feel very safe here today seeing guys carrying around guns.
Modern musket.
A universal background check is gun registration. Gun registration is future gun confiscation.
That's right.
It's a gun, it's not a weapon. Start using that if you can. They're Democrats, they're not democratic. Dianne Feinstein is not a Democratic senator. If I hear another talk show host refer to somebody as a Democratic senator, I go to 99.1. I hope you do too. And by the way, I don't know about you, I don't care what Ron Williams thinks. I know where he is and where he's going to be in a month from now. It doesn't matter what kind of logic you put in front of these people, they're brain dead. I don't need to hear that. I hope you don't either. Back to Congress real quickly. I know you're getting cold and my foot's freezing to this box of ammo. If you serve in Congress for 5 years, you get 100% of your salary and all your benefits for life.
No!
My boys, some of your boys, go over to that sand hole, do 3, 4, or 5 tours, they sleep on dirt, they eat crap, they come home if they're lucky, and they get nothing.
That's
Congress gets lifetime benefits for 5 years of screwing us.
Take
And
it
lying.
away.
Do you consent?
No.
Could you use 1,000 rounds?
Yes.
Heard on the Dennis Miller Show this past week, there's a JAG that's representing 18 Air Force officers that are just a couple of months or a couple of years away from retirement. They're getting these "your service is no longer needed" letters. They won't get their retirement.
No.
Nidal Hassan, the guy who shot 13 people and wounded 29 others, is still getting paid by you and me. Do you consent?
No.
So what is this guy that's running the Republican Party doing besides spending time in the tanning bed? He needs to hear from us. Mark, if you're here, take that message back from Nevada. The guy that shot 13 people dead, workplace violence as the Obama administration calls it. Meanwhile, a 5-year-old girl recently arrested for saying she was going to shoot a friend with her Hello Kitty gun. Arrested and called a terrorist.
No.
Nidal Hassan is still being paid by you and me.
No.
So, quickly here. Under the pretext of public safety, current government has granted itself the authority to seize your property, molest your children. If you post criticism of them on the internet, you can be arrested without a warrant or criminal charges. If you own a firearm or an accessory for a firearm that the government does not approve of, you can be arrested, fined, and jailed. If you gather like this, like we're doing today, there's a new law that's passed recently that if there's somebody within range that finds you disrupted, you can be arrested.
Or if the Secret Service is around.
Do you consent?
No.
Did you happen to hear, did you happen to hear the idiot from Maryland, I think he's a senator, when he was talking on Congress Hill, they were talking about guns, and he kept referring to a 100-round artifact? These people are so stupid that they don't, first of all, they don't read the bills they pass, and then if they do read them, they don't know what they're reading. So take a look in the mirror. Those things that I mentioned, they're all factual. That's what we have let happen. And I know it's not you guys there, but if we don't get active, if we don't start being just as obnoxious, loud as the left, we're going to continue to get trampled on. And I swear to God, if the president could do what he wanted right now, you'd be arrested. You.
That's right.
You understand?
That's right. Yeah.
Now listen, again, I keep saying real quickly, but I got to get this in. A couple of years ago, there was an election, and Harry Reid was running. And I don't live here, so I hope I don't offend you too much. I live down in Gardnerville. But you let a mayor here in Reno that, and a bunch of supporters came out and said, mayor's office is nonpartisan. And then they went out and started calling Sharon Engel names and said she's wild. A Republican for Reid. And then over in Sparks, you had a mayor who joined up with Michael Bloomberg's Mayors Against Gun Violence. There they go again, co-opting the language. Who's not against gun violence? Some of you with guns, could you ask your guns to please not be violent? And he ran, and he won. And I'm talking about, what's his name, Martini? You gotta let that happen again. I mean, you let Cashel run unopposed. I'll pay for your filing fee. Let's get a name on there. Don't let that stuff happen again.
Get him out of there.
And that's about it. I appreciate you coming. God bless you for coming out on such a cold day and being here. Let's not forget why we came here today. And let's be a little loud, obnoxious. Let's take some time to learn about the issues. Let's talk to friends, family. If if you've got young kids, thank God I don't. I got 2 boys, one out of the military, one in Afghanistan now, and a very conservative daughter. But if I had a kid that said they were voting for Barack Obama or any liberal Democrat, I'd say, okay, if I have $1 when I die, you won't get a dime if you think the government does a better job with it than I do.
That's right.
All right, so let's see. I need, I don't want to, could you come up, can you come around here? I'm going to get you to do something for me. Would you come around? Thanks. We're going to do the drawing for the 1,000 rounds. And thanks to Roger Stockton for putting a lot of money on the line here to do this Western Representation PAC. The money from the raffle is going to go to the Second Amendment Foundation and the Western Representation PAC. And the reason why is I know they will never, ever support any candidate that is not exactly sure where they stand on the Second Amendment. All right, thank you again for coming out. Let's do the drawing. Wouldn't it have been cool if Rubio would have just spit water through his nose? Are they not the most insane? I mean, they're entertaining. They're so insane. A guy taking a drink of water, his career's over.
Yeah.
I guess mine is too.
I will mix them well.
By the way, I want to thank, strangely enough, I don't want to make all you guys mad. It was so easy to get this ammunition. A couple of guys to do some advertising with me, High Desert Guns down in Minden. When Roger picked the day, and the really strange thing about this is Roger picked this day of 223, and I thought, oh, okay, it means 223. It's an AR, so I'll go get 1,000 rounds of 223. It wasn't until a couple of days ago that Roger picked a date that had nothing to do with 223. All right, we got a ticket. Okay, it's a red ticket.
Yay!
Roger Stockton. Gosh.
Roger Stockton.
All right, the number. Thank you, by the way. Thank you very much. Jediah. Big round of applause for Jediah. A future conservative. A patriot. 716.
That's me.
290.
Oh. I was close.
716. Now, I would have told somebody to put their cell phone number on the back of this, just in case.
Yeah.
So check around real quick. All right, we got a winner. Congratulations. Everybody make friends with that guy. Come on up. Come on around. Oh, and I hope, just in case you didn't get one, 99.1 has been supporting the Second Amendment and hunters' rights since I've owned the radio station. That and Cowboy Country 102.5 FM. Every Sunday from 11 to 2, we have a program called Gun Talk.
Yes.
You can learn a lot by listening to Gun Talk. It's on tomorrow. Give Tom Gresham a call if it's not a best of, and let him know what we did here today. And we have some bumper stickers that have Gun Talk on it. Let everybody know you support the Second Amendment and your gun rights, and get one from me before you leave today if you don't have one already. Thank you again for coming out. Roger, want to say anything?
Thank you to Jediah for, well, actually only one person is really thanking you. The rest of them, stay away from them. Okay, we know everyone's getting cold. We're going to do the drawing here. I just want Travis Christensen to say just a couple of words, and we're going to make the two last drawings. And then I prepared a 2-hour speech that I'm just going to stand here and read. And see how many people, if you really are that desperate to listen to somebody. So anyway, just listen to Travis for a minute. We'll do the drawing for both the iPad and the second silver coin. And we'll have you out of here because we're all getting cold. And thank you so much for putting up with the weather and being out here in such a great support of a great cause. Travis?
Hi there. My name's Travis Christensen. I'm the host of the Travis Christensen Show on 107.3 K News. And usually on Saturday from noon to 3, I'm hosting my show. But I'm here with you fine folks today. So my good buddy Sean Patrick, you may have heard of him, he is hosting for me right now, and I'll be filling in for him on Monday from 3 to 6 on 107.3 K News. So being that I'm on talk radio, I get a chance to talk to a lot of people, And we've been talking a lot about the Second Amendment for the last couple of months, obviously. And there's a couple points I want to make to you today. The first is this. The Second Amendment